Hi folks, welcome to AwkwardHamster. In this video I'll be showing you how I set up the Foscam FI9820W on a Windows computer. In my last video I mentioned that I had a very hard time setting this up on a Macintosh computer as well as a Windows virtual machine, but I found a way around it by using a physical server, and I also touch upon the issues I encountered and how I got around it. Now, some things you'll need is you definitely need a Ethernet cable. This is the one that came with the Foscam. Now this CD, the quick installation CD, this came with the Foscam. I'm going to go through all the steps in the CD, but for me this step did not work, but I'm still just going to cover it. And first thing you're going to want to do is plug in the Foscam, plug in the power, then just take the Ethernet cable and plug it into your router and plug into your Foscam in any order. It really doesn't matter. When you do that, the Foscam will be connected to your home network. Next, I'm just going to pop in a CD into the computer. Now, what's going to happen is, in the previous Foscam videos I had, I always installed the IP camera tool, and through the IP camera tool, that's how I found the Foscam that's on this network. And it's quick, it's simple, except that in this FI9820W it did not work. I was checking Foscam's website, and it turns out there's different versions of the IP camera tool. There's one that's for the MPEG, and there's one for the H.264. This Foscam, this is the HD version, so this one is the H.264. But even though I downloaded their version of the IP camera tool, it still did not work. So I'm just going to cover all the things that did not work for me, and then I'm going to cover what I did to get around the issue. Now that the CD is loaded, let me just make sure. Now on the CD there's the couple folders. There's the Windows folder, a Mac folder, and some other folder. But let me just go to the Windows folder first. And here inside there's the IP camera tool and a README file. Let me just open a README file real quick. The README file just says, please install the IP camera tool, close your internet browser. If there's any issues, just reinstall and restart the computer. Okay. So let me first install the IP camera tool just so we have it in there. If you ever lose a CD and you need to get a copy of the IP camera tool, you can also always go to Foscam.us support's website. Over there they list the firmwares, they list the manuals, they list the IP camera tool if you need it. Let's go through this installation. I have really high hopes for this camera, and I'll later on go through the pros and cons. Alright, it finished installing. Let me just start minimizing all this stuff here. I have an icon on my desktop. I'm just going to run the IP camera tool. Now, with the previous Foscams, it'll come up here. I'll see one line, and this line will tell me the IP address of this Foscam I'm trying to set up. But for some odd reason, even when I right-click and go to camera list, it does not find the Foscam on my network. I can go to flush the buffer, wait a few seconds, refresh the camera list, and still nothing. Since the IP camera tool that came with the CD did not work for me, I'm going to uninstall it and reinstall the one I downloaded from the Foscam website. Should be a quick uninstall. Alright, it's finished uninstalling. So now I'm going to go to the my downloads folder, and here this IP camera setup file, it came from the Foscam website, so this is their latest version. And as the README file mentioned before, I'm just going to install this, and I'm going to restart the computer. Alright, it's finished installing. The icon's on my desktop now. When I click it, I don't see the camera. Let me try refreshing it. Still nothing. So let me reboot the computer and I'll be right back. Okay, the computer is booted back up. Now I'm just going to try run the IP camera tool, and still there's no camera listed. I don't know why the IP camera tool works on my Macintosh computer but does not work on the Windows version, does not work on a Windows computer. Even the one I downloaded from the Foscam website does not work on here. So I'm just going to close this, and I'm going to show you a different way of accessing the Foscam, administrating Foscam, even if you don't have the IP camera tool installed.